Boys and Girls Club, it's Denise from the South Boston Club, and today I want to show you one of my favorite snacks, stovetop popcorn. All you'll need will be some popcorn kernels, vegetable oil, some salt, and a pot with a lid. Let's start popping. So years ago, I was taught how to make stovetop popcorn without a recipe, and by far it has been the best way to ensure you get all your kernels popped, and quite frankly, it's just so much easier to not have to know what measurements you need. And the reason why this recipe doesn't call for any measurements is because it will determine by the size of your pot. So everybody might be using a different size pot, therefore the measurements will be different. So this pot is two and a half quarts, which it tells me on the bottom. You don't need to know exactly how many quarts your pot holds, but this way of making stovetop popcorn, you'll have measurements based on the size of your pot. Let me show you what I mean by an example. Without any heat or oil in your pot, you're going to pour your popcorn kernels and make sure they cover the bottom of your pot, the entire surface area. However, you do see that they're not stacked. To measure our oil, we are going to pour it in the pot with no heat. We're just measuring. And you just want a nice shallow layer of oil to cover the bottom surface of your pot. Before we start popping, I wanted to answer a question that a lot of people ask me concerning what type of oil to use. I always hear like, I have extra virgin olive oil. I feel like it's so much better for you. Can I use that instead of vegetable oil? My preference is to use vegetable oil. One, because the flavor is more neutral in my opinion, and also with extra virgin olive oil, it has a different smoke point. We're gonna cook this popcorn on very high heat. With extra virgin olive oil, once certain temperatures are reached, it will break down components in the olive oil and reach a smoke point, which will give you an off flavor and won't be very good in your popcorn. So I left my oil in the pan and it measured probably about 2 tablespoons. And I'm going to start in a cold pan, high heat. I'm going to pour my kernels in, spread them out in the pan, and I definitely have plenty of oil in that pot. And what I'm going to do is wait until I hear the first pop and leave this pot uncovered. You can now see that the oil is getting hot and our popcorn kernels are heating up. I'm just waiting for that first pop before we put on the lid. First pop, put on your lid, and all we're going to do is just let this popcorn pop. Similar to the microwave, when you start hearing the popcorn slow down is when you'll take it off the heat. And for those of you that don't have a clear top like I do, you do not need a clear top. You're just gonna listen to the sound of the popcorn. So now you can see and hear the popcorn is almost done. No need to shake the pan, you're just listening for the pop, and it's slowing down. So I'm gonna turn off my heat when I hear the slow popping like so. Remove it off the heat, and wait till I hear no more popping before I take off my lid. So there you go, stovetop popcorn. You're gonna pour that into the bowl of your choice. And of course, don't forget to season with some salt.